Hi everyone, this is Deb Tim and welcome to my channel. Welcome to anyone who is new here. Please take a minute and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos. Ring the bell and then you'll be notified. So today we're going to look at my African cichlids. I share them a lot because they mean so much to me. I want to share with you how I started with African cichlids and what they have done for me in my life. I know it sounds crazy, but they have been a blessing like no other. So please stay tuned. This is my 75-gallon mixed African cichlid aquarium. It looks like these guys are hungry. They may be, but I've already given them their breakfast, so they won't get any more food until later today. I'm standing close as I just set up my tripod. So now as the video starts to record and I move away, you will see the fish start to do the same thing. I have had this aquarium home to my cichlids since I first got into these amazing fish. We always had fish tanks as I grew up, and then as I raised my own kids. It was more of a keeper of critters than an actual aquarium back then. We kept fish we caught at the river, salamanders we found in the forest, mice we trapped in the fields, snakes, praying mantis, and anything else that piqued our interest. Then for a few years my sons had a hamster farm, raising these cute, cuddly critters for local pet shops in the area. Keeping them all in aquariums left me with a large group of 10 and 20-gallon tanks. The tanks sat for years in our cellar until I finally gave them all away. We continued having a 20 or 30-gallon aquarium as part of our normal room decor. We had everything from guppies, grammies, neons, a variety of tetras, danios, and pretty much every community fish that comes to mind. Then for a space of years we didn't have a tank at all. The boys moved out, they grew up, hubby and I were both working full-time, we were both involved in sports. Still having a number of other animals, we really didn't miss the fish tank all that much. Well, 8 years ago, I went off work on disability and found myself home full-time. Having always worked, I had a ton of free time on my hands. I had to find something to focus on. That's how I got back into fish keeping. I did lots of research when I was deciding what fish I wanted to keep. I was looking for something interesting, active, colorful, a little more demanding, and a little more interesting than just the average community fish. Once I found African cichlids, learned about their requirements, realized that they have temperaments, saw the varieties available, not to mention the number of species to choose from, I was hooked. My first African cichlid tank was 50 gallons, already established, complete with tank stand, all the hardware needed, including the fish and food, purchased as a complete setup. I didn't have to cycle the tank, choose the fish or decor, or create my own setup. It was already done. All I had to do was move the 50-gallon setup to my home, and I had my aquarium up and running. That was my very first experience with African cichlids. Within a couple months, I had my first brand new 75-gallon aquarium and everything I needed to create my very own first African cichlid habitat. In no time, they were breeding and I was expanding my tank numbers. Boy, this is when I realized that all those tanks I had in the cellar would have been very handy. Hit hard with MTS syndrome, or multi-tank syndrome, my fish room was born and I was officially addicted. For years I raised cichlids, having a few breeding groups. I think I maxed out at 17 aquariums. Slowly over time I reduced the number of tanks I had and went for larger tanks. Now I have 5 show tanks, and that's it. I have a 125-gallon home to my geophagus, my banded cichlids, clown loaches, and silver dollars. Then I have 3 75-gallon aquariums. One is for South American cichlids, plus one new inhabitant that I'll share with you soon. I have a 75-gallon for Boomer, my flower horn, and this 75-gallon home to my mixed African cichlids. And then finally, I have the 40-gallon breeder in my family room that is running on empty, but it's in limbo right now until I decide what I'm going to do. These amazing fish gave my life purpose again, something to focus my time and energy on that has benefited me more than I can express. I can sit for hours in front of any one of my tanks and find it very therapeutic. Watching the fish swim back and forth, interacting with each other, eating, or just watching me back has changed my life and given me something to pour my love into and for a time be free of life's struggles. I don't often like to share about being on permanent disability. I went off work in 2012. Suffering from depression and anxiety, I became reclusive, leaving our home as little as possible. Avoiding gatherings and parties as I suffered social phobias, we stayed home a lot and missed out on so much. Over these last years, having this wonderful hobby has given me peace and a pleasure beyond measure. Yes, I still struggle, but I also have come a long way. This hobby has been such a blessing to me and really impacted my life. You're probably wondering, why is that sand so white? While doing water changes this week, I replaced the sand in 3 of my show tanks. I did not have black blasting sand, which is a sand I keep usually just a small bag of, and then I just throw in a handful or 2 onto the white sand to give it that salt and pepper look. That, in my mind, decreases the amount of dirt you can see, and it also tones down the brightness of the white a little bit. But for now, I'm going to leave it just as it is. This tank is actually going to be replaced with a brand new 75-gallon next week. I'm tired of these scratches. So until next time, this is Deb Tim signing out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a super day. Have a great day tomorrow, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.